Hi there, it's Steve from North East Functional Health. Today we're going to be talking about what pain is and why things hurt. Now, obviously, if you have an acute injury, so let's say you twist an ankle, you stand on a drawing pin, you tear a muscle while sprinting, now that is going to take some time to heal. There's going to be acute inflammation, there's going to be tissue healing, and depending on how severe that injury is, that healing will take place over, let's say, 2 to 4 months. Now, after that healing is carried out, lots of people will go on to either experience pain in the future or never get pain-free from the original injury. And the reason for that is because the brain goes on guarding the area as if it is still injured. So your brain perceives that area isn't as strong or isn't engaging correctly, and it'll avoid using it, and therefore other things have to essentially overwork to kind of compensate for it. Now, lots of the people that I see, the majority of the people that I see, do not have a structural issue. They've often been through the conventional medical route, they might have had an MRI, and they'll kind of come back in and they'll kind of say, yeah, you know what, there's disc degeneration or there's disc dehydration, however this doesn't account for my pain, and I've got pain. No one's been able to help me with why that is. And all pain is effectively, it's like a little white flag that your brain's sensitizing an area and saying something here isn't happy. It waves a little white flag, just kind of saying I need some help, and it needs someone to figure out why that area is kind of behaving the way that it is. Again, a lot of the time where people's pain is not actually where the problem is. A lot of the time pain is the last thing that shows up, and a lot of the time I'll end up treating a site which is seemingly to the person unrelated to what they're experiencing. However, what you need to remember is someone might have had an injury 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, and they'll compensate up until the point that they can't anymore. Now, additionally, your brain remembers almost everything that kind of happens to it, even if you consciously can't. Therefore, if it has like a triggering response, let's say you twist an ankle really badly, and then every time you half twist that ankle again, that's going to remind the brain of the last time that it hurt itself. So therefore it's going to kick off the same response. Muscles are going to either lock down or you're going to start guarding and moving. Now, there's a really good TEDx talk by a pain scientist called Lorimer Moseley. It's called Why Things Hurt, and he's all talking to do about an experience that he had when he was bitten by a poisonous snake. I encourage you to YouTube that because he explains it far better than I do. However, from my point of view, is when you can find and treat these old injury sites or these areas that you are for some reason inherently protecting, you get a lot of change, and it's really quickly. These things will act as kind of like root cause, and a lot of people's pain almost acts as kind of your system just trying to compensate and trying to cope with what's going on. We're going to be talking about that more in videos to come.